It's official, ladies and gentlemen. We have now entered into the brave new world of COVID-19 '84, where Big Brother is now openly using our cell phone data to track, trace, and database everyone on the planet in the fight against COVID-19. Now, I discussed this 11 days ago in this video. The COVID-19 technological control grid is here, and they're now using drones and phones to track you. So in today's video, we're going to show you how they're doing that. We see here European mobile operators share data for the coronavirus fight. Watchdog approves use of UK phone data to help fight coronavirus. We see here phone data shows Canadians are avoiding restaurants, transit, stores, and offices. Tech companies are proposing Canada now use cell phone apps to track the speed of the coronavirus. We see here countries are now opting for more phone tracking amid the coronavirus. Should Canada, is the question this article proposes. And then we get into the very nightmarish dystopian stuff, selfie app to keep track of quarantined Poles, where the authorities are going to send you a message and you're going to have to take a selfie of yourself inside your home. And if you don't respond within 20 minutes, cops are going to show up at the door. We also know this is all coming at the hands of Google from the top. They are wielding its vast troves of phone tracking data in the virus fight. Reports published by the search giant will show how well residents in 131 countries, including the US, are following pleas to stay at home. So in this video, we're going to talk about how they are doing this, but more importantly, we're going to talk about the fact that technology is indeed a double-edged sword, and we can use this to our advantage moving forward here. So if you are a business operator who's been forced into the black market and you want to continue to operate outside of the view of Big Brother or the government, this video is for you. If you are a church congregation and you want to be able to continue to fellowship outside of the prying eyes of the government or Big Brother, this video is for you. And even if you're a militia or any kind of anti-government group who wants to get together to discuss ideas to how to fight back against this authoritarian regime, this video is for you. So stick around, guys. We're going to discuss all of this and especially the practical ways to how you can use this technology to your advantage in these trying times. But just before we do, guys, I'd ask that you check out this page here, pressfortruth.ca/donate. If you want to contribute to my efforts to bring you this very important information, you can do so with a one-time PayPal donation. You can contribute Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies here. You can join as a PFT patron by clicking on this banner, or you can use the Patreon alternative over here and sign up for a monthly reoccurring amount. Any amount helps. It goes a long way, guys, as they're trying to silence voices like mine moving forward, because I'm going to provide today practical ways for how you can get around this using the technology to your advantage. Now, as I said, we're clearly already in this Big Brother Orwellian nightmarish world where they're currently today already tracking everybody through their phones in order to fight the spread of COVID, they say. We see here Europe mobile operators share data for coronavirus fight. Mobile carriers are sharing data with the health authorities in Italy, Germany, and Austria, helping to fight coronavirus by monitoring whether people are complying with curbs on movement, while at the same time respecting Europe's privacy laws. Yeah, that's a bit of an oxymoron. I don't know how that's possible. The data, which are anonymous and aggregated, make it possible to map concentrations and movements of customers in hot zones, remember that term, where COVID-19 has taken hold. That is less invasive than the approach taken by countries like China, Taiwan, and South Korea, which use smartphone location readings to trace the contacts of individuals who have tested positive or to enforce quarantine orders. Well, as we're going to see from this Guardian article, they are already using this data in Europe to track individuals. As we see here, the UK's privacy watchdog has said the government can legally use personal data from people's mobile phones to track and monitor behavior if it helps to fight the spread of coronavirus. It emerged last week that the government was in talks with UK mobile phone companies to potentially use anonymous location and usage data to create movement maps with a 12 to 24-hour delay to discover whether the public are abiding by the lockdown rules. So we're already seeing that they're going against what they've already said, and they are violating individuals' rights and collecting that information. We see here how the phone data is showing Canadian authorities that people are avoiding restaurants, transit stores, and offices. In mid-March, Canada started to shut down in response to the new coronavirus. It was visible all around us as schools and offices emptied. And it was also visible to Google, as location data sent by our phones showed a quick and profound change to our way of life. Starting in about the second week in March, Canadians' phones started spending less time in the workplaces, or on transit, or in retail stores, and more time at home, our phones told Google. The data showed that we are also started shopping much less than normal. The reduction was about 60% for destinations like restaurants and movie theaters, but only 35% for grocery stores and pharmacies. Do you guys notice how odd it is, how they're just openly talking about this like as if it's a normal thing? That Google is completely tracking every single person's movements? This has just become accepted in society. The things that I was warning about decades ago, people were laughing at me for a conspiracy theory. Now they're just saying, yes, this is clearly how things go. We see here the tech companies are proposing that Canada gets in on this with using phone tracking apps to stop the spread. A number of companies and researchers in Canada are in talks with or have put forward proposals to various levels of government to roll out apps that would use location or Bluetooth data to track people who may have come into contact with someone who tested positive for the novel coronavirus. And this article here actually gets into where it starts getting really scary. Countries are opting in for phone tracking should Canada. And we see here it says the government released an app that requires people in quarantine or self-isolation over COVID-19 to periodically send selfies of themselves to prove that they are following orders. The home quarantine app will send users an alert requesting a geolocated photo of themselves. If they don't send a photo within 20 minutes, the police will be notified and people can be subject to fines. Here's the article that lays it out for how it works for the Poles. Poland on Friday launched a smartphone app allowing people under a mandatory 14-day quarantine for coronavirus to send selfies to let authorities know that they are indeed staying home. People in quarantine have a choice: either receive unexpected visits from the police or download this app, says their minister of digital ministry spokesperson. The home quarantine app is intended for people undergoing the mandatory 14-day quarantine after returning from abroad, he said. The app uses geolocation and facial recognition, allowing quarantined users to check in with the authorities to confirm that they are indeed staying at home as required. Users first register a selfie through the app, which then randomly requests more selfies throughout the day. The app notifies police if users fail to respond within 20 minutes. They've already issued fines for this. Police said on Friday they had slapped a €111 fine on one person who had flouted the mandatory quarantine rules, adding that the penalties run as high as $5,000. So they're already using this technology in order to go after anyone who violates these these orders. But I'm here today to let you know there is a way around this. Technology very much is a double-edged sword. It can be used for good, it can be used for bad. Right now, the government is using it to track us in order to completely have the all-seeing eye, watching every single thing that everyone does under the guise of the coronavirus. But I started thinking about ways that we could get around this. If you want to meet because, as I said, you're a failing business, but you've been forced onto the black market because of the government, and you need to continue to engage in commerce, but you need to do it outside of them, I have a way that you can do that. Or if you're a church member and you want to congregate with your congregation, I have a way to do that. Or if you're a militia or any anti-government group who needs to meet in person to discuss plans, there is a way to do that. And the idea came to me when I remembered that last year there was an artist who actually hacked Google Maps using cell phones and making it think that there was actually a traffic jam. Did you guys see this? Hacker creates fake Google Maps traffic jam with 99 cell phones. A German artist illustrated how it is possible to create a virtual traffic jam in Google Maps by walking around the streets of Berlin with 99 cell phones. Google Maps utilizes GPS and location data from mobile devices to determine if there is traffic congestion on a particular street. The app will then redirect users to the less trafficked streets to avoid the traffic. And they have a little video of it here. I'll just play that right now. As we see, here the man is walking down the middle of the street with 100 cell phones in a wheelbarrow, all with the location services turned on. This has tricked Google into thinking that these are all vehicles moving slowly down the road. So as you see on the Google Maps here, the line starts to become red as he crosses the bridge here. All by himself with no traffic anywhere. The line becomes red, as you see it just did there, indicating congestion, because Google thinks there's a whole bunch of people congregating in this one particular location. Do you see where I'm going with this, guys? It's possible now to create a diversion for the authorities where you can now purchase, let's say, a couple of dozen cheap cell phones. You could probably get them for 25 or 30 bucks at a Walmart these days. Put a SIM card in them, make sure the location service is turned on, have a member of your team deploy these at a decoy location. You then rendezvous at a undisclosed location at the same time. When the police see these hotspots congregating together and they go to the diversion address, they'll bust into a home and find that there's not a single soul in there. There's just a whole bunch of cell phones lying around. But by the time they realize they've been duped, you will have already met with your cell phones at home, of course, discussed the things that you needed to discuss, and have already gone home before they even realize what happened. So I'm just putting that out there, guys. This is something that can actually be done. As I said, look, there's going to be unlawful orders coming in the very near future. Some countries are already dealing with this, and we're going to need to figure out ways that we can continue to thrive and survive in the black market, also known as the free market, and we're going to be able to potentially use this technology to our advantage to do so. So that's just one of the practical ways that I can see a possible way. If you have a very important meeting that you need to attend and you want to get people together for, and you don't want Big Brother or the government to know, use this tactic to create a diversion in order to send them somewhere else when you're actually meeting over here. And don't forget, the most important part of that is to leave your actual real personal cell phone at home when you do that. In fact, it's probably a good idea to do that in general. You guys, I don't know if you've seen this video I put out a while ago titled "The iPhone X Exposed, a Biometric Identification is Just the Beginning." And in that, I warned how they were going to start using this technology to track us and trace us. I also put out this one. It's got almost 2 million views now. Wireless warfare exposed. Declassified military doc proves smartphones are killing mankind. And then I followed that up with 2.0. Wireless warfare exposed 2.0. National Toxicology Program proves cell phones cause cancer. So I'm going to put a link to all of these videos in the description below, as well as the article about that hacker who figured out a way to use this technology to confuse the Google Maps into thinking that there was a traffic jam. Well, we can also do this in order to create a diversion and to send the authorities to the wrong location while we secretly meet in an undisclosed location. Guys, if you like this idea, please click the thumbs up button. Share this video, especially with your friends who you know are not going to be happy with unlawful orders moving forward in the near future. Well, there are ways we can stay 2 steps ahead, and I hope I was able to provide at least one practical way that we can do this. If anybody wants to actually try this, please document it. Film the one location and the other location simultaneously to show that the diversion worked, that they went here while you met there, and they didn't figure it out until you already got back home. So I would encourage people to do that moving forward, guys, because these are crazy times we're heading into. It's uncharted territory, and I think it's only going to get worse before it gets better. So we need to start proactively thinking of ways that we can fight back against these unlawful orders coming from this authoritarian regime. Once again, guys, click the thumbs up button, share this video. Please check us out at pressfortruth.ca patreon.com/donate. If you want to contribute to our efforts here, links are located right here on the screen or in the description below. Google has completely demonetized this channel. They don't want me generating any kind of revenue off of this platform anymore because of the type of information I'm bringing to the table. If that's something you guys appreciate, again, please check the links in the description below to find out how you can contribute. And that's all for today, my friends. I want to thank you for tuning in. We're going to be back here with more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. Hey there, guys. I was just exporting the video that I just shot, and I started having some last-minute thoughts that I just wanted to throw in there. Number one, I'm not encouraging anybody to break the law. I'm not suggesting that you violate the quarantine orders. I'm simply presenting some information here. I saw somebody online doing something interesting, and I wanted to present the information. Do with it what you will. But the most important thing is, if we're to the point now where we have to be sneaking around, we've already missed the boat. People should have disobeyed unlawful orders en masse together a while ago, before we gotten into the position that we're currently in. Just wanted to add that in there, guys. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more vids coming soon. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.